Gunsight is another big milestone for the Famicom. This is the final light gun game on the system. The Famicom light gun was released all the way back in 1984 when Nintendo made 3 games for it. And then after that, there were 3 more games that supported the light gun, plus one that had its own specialized light gun. The peripheral was much more popular in the US, where it was branded as the Zapper. When I'm playing these light gun games, I'm using a homemade cable that connects the Famicom ports with pins that I can plug a NES Zapper into. And as you might expect from that history, Gunsight was made for the American market. It's basically Konami going, what if we made a sequel to Top Gun without the license, but made our own special light gun to sell to people with it? That light gun was the Laser Scope, a voice-activated headset-mounted light gun. Fortunately for me, that infamous peripheral was never released for the Famicom, so all I have to talk about is the game that intended you to use it. Gunsight has you step into the shoes of an American soldier whose mission is to invade a foreign country and smash everything up looking for weapons of mass destruction. All of the equipment you get is your pistol and a super attack helicopter. You progress through a series of 4 missions, and every mission has 3 phases. A helicopter mode where you fly to your target, a shooting range mode where you try to get inside the enemy base, and then you explore the bases as a first-person dungeon. You can only use the light gun with the last 2 phases. Before you set out on your mission, you have to equip your helicopter, selecting the power of your missiles, just like in Top Gun, and then choosing an additional piece of equipment. An extended fuel tank to keep you in the air longer, ground bombs which will destroy any target on the ground when you launch one, and chaff which will prevent enemies behind you from launching missiles. As you're flying, there's a few different things you have to pay attention to. The map in the lower left shows the position of your helicopter, its heading, and where your targets are. The radar on the right will show any enemies that are circling you. Below that is a health bar for your helicopter, and there's a fuel gauge on the left-hand side. Generally speaking, you've got just enough fuel to go to the opposite corner of the map and then land for a mission. You don't have enough gas to fool around. Holding down B will fire your machine gun, while tapping B twice will use your equipment. By default, this will be your missiles, but if you have ground bombs or chaff, then you can hit select to pick those. The A button reduces your flight speed, and you can reduce that until you're hovering. Sometimes you'll encounter bosses in these flight missions, and here you have to shoot out the individual weapon pods before you're allowed to take it out. Once you get to an enemy base, you go into a landing mode, and here all you have to do is line up your helicopter with the landing pad. You'll get blown off course a bit as you try to land. Holding down A will cause the helicopter to go back up, and you can feather that to descend more slowly. If you miss the pad, you just have to line up with the base and do it again, though it does cost you some fuel. Once you land, you go into these shooting gallery stages, where the screen slowly scrolls past, and enemies just pop out for you to shoot at them. Obviously, this is one of the places where you can use the light gun. These are very straightforward, but there are a couple things to watch out for. The crates will contain additional health or ammo for you, and the barrels will explode, killing all enemies on the screen. Make it all the way to the facility entrance, and then you'll go inside for the next part of your mission. And here you have these first-person mazes. The A button will open any door that you're in front of, but you could find that some of them are locked. Sometimes enemies will attack you as you wander through the maze, and in those cases you just have to sit there and shoot at all the enemies until the attack is over. On the second stage you'll get captured and won't have a weapon, and if you stumble into a combat in that situation, you'll have to mash the A button to back out to the previous square. These combat scenes aren't random encounters, they're always in the exact same squares. In the mazes you'll find boxes, and some of these will contain health and ammo, but they might also contain key cards that will let you access certain rooms, a gas mask that will protect you from traps, and a key that will get you through those last pesky doors. You'll also find your informant Spider, a man who definitely will not betray you at any point. Actually, he never betrays you. If you manage to clear a mission, you do get a password that'll let you pick up from the next one. Gunsight doesn't seem to have inspired a lot of passion in Japan. I found a few people talking about playing it, but not what they thought about playing it. I'm kind of mixed on this one myself. The helicopter segments are really good. They're what Konami's Top Gun should have been. And the shooting gallery is better than Operation Wolf was, but it's still a fairly generic segment. And then in the mazes, I didn't like fighting the enemies here. Both with the zapper and without, it felt like you were just getting stalled out for a few seconds while people popped their heads up. Gunsight is a technically impressive game. It looks really good, and the later missions can be pretty wild. But it's also not an outstanding game. This is the kind of thing that you'd play, go, oh, that was okay, and then get on with your life.